The PSC races are getting a lot of attention. That's the Public Service Commission. There are two incumbent Republicans up for re-election. They both face Democratic challengers, and both parties are putting a lot of emphasis on these upcoming races that are going to be on the ballot on Election Day on November 4th. This week's edition of the Georgia Vote, we asked our panel, what's going on here? Why so much attention this year on these races?
I have heard a lot from folks in the political space about how the PSC race is supposed to be and might be a bellwether of what's to come in 2026. Greg, do you agree with that?
I don't know if it's a bellwether because the turnout's going to be so low, 2.5% turnout during the primary, so that's very marginal. Yeah. But Republicans see a lot of warning signs flashing. There's legit concern from senior Republicans, as you just heard from Governor Kemp, but all the way down the aisle, worried that they could lose these seats. This was the first down-ticket statewide loss for Republicans, not counting the U.S. Senate races, since 2006. And whether or not it's a bellwether, Democrats would take a victory and say it's a bellwether, right? They could use that to raise more money, to prove some momentum going into the midterms.
Stephen, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bellwether, but I do think that they are facing an uphill battle. Look, on the turnout game,
the incumbents facing an uphill battle.
They are basically fighting a turnout battle where they are fighting hundreds of municipal elections across the state in predominantly Democrat areas that are going to be turning out Democrat votes, and it's just the two of them on the ticket. So it's a little bit of a David and Goliath, as ironic as that may be. I think it's going to be close, but look, I think if you're a Republican, you've got to get out and vote for these guys if you want to keep your energy rates the same. But it's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
And even though this is a relatively small race that has a big impact in the state, Fred, I want to bring you in here because messaging, Democrats could truly use this in the midterms as messaging.
Well, absolutely.
If they are successful, of course.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure I agree with Greg and Stephen here. I'm not sure it's a bellwether, but there are two things to keep in mind. Number one, these seats are for 6 years. So you're talking about having Democrats in very key positions for a long time.
If they win.
If they win, right? And then, well, if Stephen makes an interesting point, and a point that if I were messaging with the Democrats, or for the Democrats, I would bring it out, that if you want your race to stay the same, which is after 4, 5, 6, 7 successive rate hikes that the PSC has never said no to, then yeah, vote for the two Republicans. If you want to reduce your energy race and diversify your energy portfolio, then vote a different way.